Welcome to our 8 Foundations of Movement. This is the physical assessment that I use on everyone who comes to the door. It doesn't matter whether they're coming in for their shoulder, their knee, or their ankle, whatever it is. I want to figure out the root cause of what's going on. And because of that, I can't necessarily chase their pain. I need to look at where they're strong, where they could use a little bit of help, where they move real well, and where they can use a little bit of help. And the only way I can do that is just put them through a series of functional tests and see how they do. So this 8 Foundations of Movement does a couple of things. One, it takes a really good look at your core. And your core are the 12 muscle groups from your neck to your knees and everything in between. The other thing it does really well is that it finds the low-hanging fruit that I see all the time. So a lot of people have stiff ankles, a lot of people have tight middle backs. Some people's necks don't look to the right all that well. I kind of looked back through my entire career and looked at everyone and looked at the most common denominators between them and came up with a really quick, easy to do test that would catch all that, really look at the core, and help us find the root of what's going on. So no matter whether you have something going on, don't have anything going on, obviously this isn't medical advice, I'm just kind of giving you what it would look like if you made an appointment with me, and this is probably what the first 25 minutes would look like. So we'll do it real slow, we're gonna go through it. I'm gonna ask you a bunch of questions, very kind of simple though. Where do you feel it? What do you feel? And then after you've done both, does it feel the same on both sides? Over and over and over, I'm gonna ask you those questions. So have a piece of paper ready now, I'll let you go get one, and then come on back and just be ready to come up with a bit of a laundry list of places where we can help you move a little bit better and be a little bit stronger. And then off of this, there's breakout videos for every single thing. So if you have no trouble with the wall sit, don't worry about that section. But if the Cowboy sit bothers you, the wall angel is fine, but the Cowboy sit kind of gave you trouble, you can just dive into that video and hopefully clean some stuff up. So the first one that we're gonna do is the Cowboy Sit Plus, and I'm gonna talk us through it. So hopefully you got your pencil and paper, you're ready. Anybody can use pencil and paper? I don't know, maybe you're writing this down on a computer, word processor perhaps, whatever. Drop down on the ground. The Cowboy Sit Plus has 2 parts. So the first part is really looking at the big toe, rest of the toes, all those going into extension, the arch flexibility, a little bit of the ankle flexibility, but not a ton, the knee flexibility here, and how much your quad can lengthen. So you're gonna tuck your toes under, then you're gonna bring your butt to your heel, and then the final part of it is you're just gonna try and get vertical. So you kind of gotta stack up yourself with that foot. And you're gonna take 3 slow breaths. And then I'm gonna ask you the question, where do you feel, what do you feel, and does it feel the same on both sides? So now let's go on to the other side, same story. You're gonna tuck those toes under, and for me, this is a little bit tougher. I'm not trying to bias you, I'm just saying, for me, when I tuck my toes under, I can get my butt to my heel, but when I start to get vertical, my right big toe really does not like that. So this is as vertical as I can get. And we're not trying, this isn't a test your might competition, you're not trying to see how much pain you can withstand. Quite the opposite. That perception of pain is a nice bit of information, and that's what we're looking for. So I'm here, I'm gonna do my 3 slow breaths, 5 seconds in, 5 seconds out. And if you see here, I can't really get my butt onto my heel as well, and I certainly can't get vertical. So those questions again, where did you feel it? For me, that was my right big toe. What did you feel? Felt tight, a little bit painful. And then did it feel the same on both sides? Absolutely not. My left was kind of breezy, and my right was not breezy. So the next thing that we're gonna do is we're gonna do the second part of the Cowboy Sit, where we're gonna check our ankle it's called dorsiflexion range of motion. You might just call it mobility, and that's like totally fine. You're not going to be tested on any of this. So for that, you're going to use a wall. I'm going to use this. This is my kind of wall over here, but you're going to go up against the wall. So what we want to see is how far away you can get from the wall while still having your heel glued to the ground. So it might be easier to just see. So I'm here like this. I got my one hand here, kind of like making sure I'm not cheating, because you ain't cheating, you ain't trying can be set up for a lot of people. And really, you want to be honest with this assessment. There's really no help in just muscling through and be like, I did such a good job. But you're really not helping yourself out, because you won't know which breakout videos to choose after this. So monitor your heel here. If you really think you're cheating, throw this little guy under here and just pull it. And as you can see right now, my knee is touching this wall and my heel is still on the ground. I'm going to scoot back a little bit. Oh, like that is just it. But now watch. Ah, that's really like borderline. But if I scoot back even this much, check it out. So now when I try and touch that, that comes out. So I'm going to go back to where I was, which was right here, where I was still clean, and just kind of recheck that. Actually, that's being more honest. And you want to see if you can get this far, like 4 finger widths, 4 inches, whatever, somewhere between there and 4 inches away from the wall. We would consider that pretty clean, only if it was the same on both sides. So now I'm going to check the other side, and then it's again the does it feel the same on both sides. So I'm here, I'm playing around, so I'm like, that's totally easy, totally easy. Okay, so that's about as far as I get over here. And when I go here, this side's just a little bit less. So that's good information. So if it was 4 inches on both sides, cool, like clean, don't sweat it. And if it feels clean, then it's fine. But if I have one side that's a little bit less, meaning that my foot can't get as far away, which means that my ankle has a little bit less range of motion into dorsiflexion, then I think that this would mean you should probably look into the How to Fix Your Cowboy Sit Plus video and maybe address that ankle. There's some really good stuff there. So that's our first of our 8 foundations of movement. That's the Cowboy Sit. The next one we're going to go into is the Shin Box Plus. So another like 2-parter. Pretty clever with getting like I'm like 8, but then I really end up doing 11 or 12 different tests. It's very smart. So you're going to go here and you're going to go into this Shin Box Plus position. And I don't care if you're 90-90, it really doesn't matter to me. I just kind of want this to be a casual Shin Box. And if you're over the age of like 30, and I know that seems like a really low number if you have like any hip pathology or anything like that, just start out on a yoga block just to get a sense. We don't want to be bothering anything. Again, this isn't medical advice, it's just like, this is how I do it in the clinic. So here it is, I'm owning this, then I'm going to switch, boom, and then same thing on the other side. For me, those feel like pretty easy, so I'm going to ditch the yoga block. And I'm going to go here, and so I'm like, all right, so I want to just hang out like this and see how vertical I can get. And I take 3 slow breaths. Cool. So like, I kind of feel it here. Let's see how it goes. Now, and that's just what I'm feeling. It does not have to be what you're feeling. And then let me do the other one. So now I put myself in this position. It's interesting, I 3 slow breaths. Let's do the thing. So, where did I feel it? What did I feel? Did it feel the same on both sides? Write all that. That's I'm writing stuff down. Maybe this should be what it is. So, for me, I had 2 different experiences. On the left, it was actually a little bit painful. On the right side though, it's a little bit stiffer. I have a harder time getting to vertical. So that's information. And for me, then I would say, you know what, I should probably check out the how to fix my Shin Box Plus video on both sides of that. So just good information. But that was where I'm at with that. Now, the plus portion of it, I'm gonna drop down onto my elbow. I'm gonna wall off to my nice like 90 degree here, and then bring that knee back so that it's 90 degrees there. And I'm gonna take this hand, and I'm gonna kind of stabilize this here to make sure that I'm not cheating. In case you haven't noticed, I've worked with a lot of people, and most people try and cheat, so I kind of try and build in these little safeguards so that it won't affect what I need. So hand here, and you're gonna just drive this knee down into the ground and drive this ankle up towards the sky. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Hopefully you did that with me. Next one, you take your hand here, dig that knee into the ground a little bit, drive that ankle up towards the ceiling. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Cool. Make sure you really kind of keep your stomach turned on for that. So if you felt like you were like moving too much and this wasn't enough of a stabilizer, also exhale your ribs down until you feel your abs turn on. Then keep those abs turned on just like that, and then sniff back in through your nose, deep down into your hips to fill up your belly. That's going to give you some good intra-abdominal pressure so that you don't move through your trunk when you're trying to move that hip. So now let's switch to the other side. Cool. So I'm like in the Shin Box position. I drop down. I wall off. Hand here. Set my ribs. Do it all with me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So where did you feel it? What did you feel? For this one, major, did it feel the same on both sides? And mine didn't. These were both pretty clean. You can see my feet kind of flopping. But my external rotations with this range of motion, and therefore that kind of like strength, active range of motion component of this was way harder than the other side, and this barely even moved compared to the other side. So really good information. Write them all down. Again, if you have any trouble, if anything other than like, that was totally clean, that was super easy, I don't even know why I did it, check out the breakout videos after this. So now we've done our first 2 tests, and we're going to jump into looking at front and back around this area a little bit better. So the first one we're going to do is a bridge squeeze. So I'm going to use this yoga block, and I'm going to put it between my knees, match your hips. I mean, you can go like any width you want, probably like this one or that one. I'll go here, and then you're going to take your arms, put them out at about 45 degrees, bury the backs of your hands down into the ground. Don't forget about your thumbs. Inhale through your nose, exhale. Feel those abs turn on. See those knit ribs knit down onto your pelvis. Good. Feel that like tension. With that exhale, keep that tension on. It's going to stabilize you. Then sniff. You probably just on my belly. Fill back up. And then I'm going to drive my hips all the way up so it's a nice line from the top of my shoulder to the top of my knee. And then you're going to squeeze your glute for 1 to 2 seconds on the right, on the left, 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 9 and 10, and gently come out of it. You saw that my hip kind of went up like this much, maybe like a centimeter, every time I squeezed that. Where did you feel it? What did you feel? Did it feel the same on both sides? That one's pretty straightforward, and so is the next one. So now we're going to put this here, and we're going to check our hip flexors. So we're going to put a band around our feet where our shoelaces would kind of be. Same exact setup on the top, so I'll just say it again. Bury the backs of your hands down into the ground. Don't forget about your thumbs. Good, now bury your left heel down into the ground and drive your right knee to the outside of your right shoulder. 3, do it with me if you can. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Just take a little inventory. Where did you feel? What did you feel? Was it super easy? Kind of just right, like no big deal, don't even know why I did it. Really, really hard. I felt it in my back, wherever it is. Where did you feel? What did you feel? Now, after you do this, it'll be, did you feel the same on both sides? Which is really an important question. So, bury, set, all 10. So, that's your hip flexor march. So those are the first 4 of your 8 foundations of movement. The next 2 we're going to look at, again, take a pretty good look through here. So we're going to do the wall angel next. So you're going to be able to see from that angle. Just know that no matter how close you are up against the wall, I probably would ask you to get closer. So that's it. All you really need to see is, from any other angle, is the fact that my spine, and I'm even gonna like scooch again, and like one more, my spine is absolutely touching the entire wall right now, no question. Next thing is that my knees are in front of my hips, and my feet are in front of my knees. And I'm going to take my arms here, and the first part, and some people have trouble with this, and that's totally okay, just means like check out those other breakout videos, is can I get my fingers, which are touching the wall, my back of my hand, my wrist, my forearm, and my elbow all to touch the wall in this position. So I'm okay, I can do that, but realize that sometimes, and I know it's a little hard, but you'll see people like this, and there'll be a gap between the wall and between this wrist. And at that point, you're just kind of like, all right, you're gonna need a little help with your wall angel. Let's go to those breakout corrective exercises where we release, stretch, and train. So I'm here, I'm snug up, one more just for good measure. Here, then now the dynamic portion of it, the wall angel, is, and I am still driving, and I'm still totally touching, I promise, the whole wall. And then I inhale on the way down. I'm gonna do that 3 to 5 times. Ideally, you're gonna see my hands get over my shoulders and still have complete contact with the wall. So that's what we're looking for. If you get that, great, awesome. Move on to the next. If you didn't, check out the breakout videos. I'm not testing for anything I don't think I can help you with. That would kind of be rude. So check out those videos. So everything touching, nice and lined up, glued up against the wall, and then inhale, and then as you exhale, keep on driving back hard and glue it into the wall, and then drive on up. The next one is a rotating plank. It's got a few different parts to it, because we really want to look at some of the hip and some of the trunk muscles and see how it goes. So I'm going to show the first part of it. We'll just do right side, left side, right side, left side, so it's easy to compare. But again, make sure you're kind of keeping this for the wall angel. Where did you feel? What did you feel? Did it feel the same on both sides? Keep that list so you know what to go back to later to build into your corrective exercise portion of your workout. So first thing I'm going to do is, it's side plank is what it's going to look like. But I'm doing a side plank that specifically uses the muscles on the outside of the bottom hip. So I'm going to really own this nice position, nice tall long line, that's straight from my armpit all the way down to the outside of my hip. I'm sorry, to the outside of my ankle. And then I want to see if I can own this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and gently come out of it. So a couple modifications. I just showed you like the grand one. You can do this up on a countertop, you can do this on any elevated surface, and it's totally fair. You can do it on your elbow, you can do it up on your hand, whatever's comfortable. Find your place. If you can hit all the way up on the arm, 15 seconds on one leg, being on the ground, you are on to the next one. But also realize you gotta keep a really tall, proud posture. Like a lot of people cheat and they try and turn the side plank into a front plank. No way. That doesn't count. Stay tall, stay proud. And if someone's watching you from the side, they should just see one straight line. You can sometimes use the wall as a bit of a coach for that to see if you're actually pulling off the wall. So now I'll do it on the other side, do the same. So if you feel like you should start with up on a countertop or maybe work your way down or maybe on the elbow, it's totally fine, whatever you're comfortable with. Then I'm gonna go here, set my ribs, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Cool. So for me, that was just a little bit harder on my right. Specifically, I felt it was a little bit harder to stabilize on the right. Cool, that's it. Or maybe it was in the foot, maybe it was in the hand that was down, but for me, just like that right side hip abductor or outside of the leg plank was more challenging than the left. So now I'm gonna go on to the next one, and it's an adductor plank, or a plank that uses the top leg's inner thigh muscles, so like the groin muscles, or adductor. So now I'm gonna pop myself up, get that nice line, take that leg out, 2, 3, 4, proud chest, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Cool. Same thing on the other side. Where did you feel it? What did you feel? Now we'll be able to answer, did it feel the same on both sides? Set myself up, nice line, you can see. Pull it out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 5, 4, proud chest, 3, ribs down, 2, and 1. Cool. Next part of the rotating plank, again, write down where'd you feel, what'd you feel, did it feel the same on both sides, is the one arm high plank. So you're gonna be here, you're gonna put your wrists under your shoulders and your feet a little wider than your hands. So for me, that's gonna look like this. It's really helpful to look at a mirror and just make sure you're kind of owning that tall, long, neutral spine. You're not up here, your hips aren't down here. You got a nice line. Someone could lay a 2x4 on your back and it would touch the back of your head, back of your heels, and your whole back, including your butt. That's what we're going for. So now the next one is, we're gonna set our ribs. And you're gonna take your right hand and put it on your right thigh. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Switch it up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. For a lot of people, one of those is going to feel harder. Again, can't stress this enough. Do it up on a countertop, do it on a bench, whatever you got to do to like kind of find where you're at, where that's a test that doesn't feel too challenging, but it's challenging enough that it exposes where you can maybe use a little bit of help. That's what we're going for. So check that out. Where did you feel? What did you feel? Did it feel the same on both sides? The last two tests, first one, we're going to look at your neck range of motion. So I'm going to set it here. All you need to do for this, maybe you want to like video yourself, have someone look at you. We're really looking for kind of like quality of range of motion here. So we're going to take our chin and bring it all the way to our chest. See how that feels. 2 more times. 1 more. So that's flexion. Next is extension. We're going to look all the way up and back with our head. 1, 2, 3. Cool. 3 to 5 on that. 3 is cool. I just kind of got lost in the moment. It was exciting. Feet here. Good. I'm going to look all the way to the right. For this one, we really want to see the nose get to mid clavicle or like mid collarbone. So you're going to look. 1, 2, 3. Same thing to the other side. 1, 2, 3, and then we're going to do our side bend. So you can film yourself from either the side, from the front, or I'm sorry, you can film yourself from the back or from the front. It really doesn't make a difference, but I'll show you for that side bending. You're going to go 1, 2, 3, other side, 1, 2, 3. And that's all your neck ranges of motion. So where did you feel it? What did you feel? Did it feel the same on both sides? Really easy to tell with the side bends and with the rotations. Did it feel the same on both sides? Flexions, extensions, do you feel the same amount of stretch on both sides? That's what we're looking for. Again, if it's totally clean, it's totally clean. No need to take any action. If it's not totally clean, all of those, check out the videos and the breakouts. Last of our 8 foundations of movement is single leg balance. So we're looking for 20 seconds with our eyes open and 10 seconds with our eyes closed. So a total of 30 seconds, you'll kind of get a score somewhere between hopefully more than 0 and 30. 30 is a perfect score. But all you're going to do is just kind of set yourself up. I would go, if this mat wasn't here, I'd rather do it on the bare floor because the mat actually makes it a little bit harder. But let me see what I can do. I'm just going to gently plug my fingertips into the ground, just kind of get a little tension through that body. Then I'm going to take my right leg and I'm going to bring it up so it's parallel to the ground. 2, get that 90-90 position. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Keep your leg up, close them up. 10, 9, 8, 7. So that means that I got to 23. I was doing really well there too. So that's my score. Hopefully yours is better. But if I put the other foot down or if I have to wiggle my foot, that's when game's off on that one. That's when you take that score out. So maybe that's how I do it better. Who knows? So now we're going to plug our fingertips in. Set your ribs if you want. Bring that leg up. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Close them up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So close. 29. What are you going to do? So that, for me, would be a 29 on that side. So I would go to the video of how to fix my single leg balance, single leg stance, because that is something that I need to work on. So that's our 8 foundations of movement. Hopefully you found this helpful. Again, it's just like being in the clinic with me. Again, this should not be construed as medical advice. I just want you to see what it looks like when you are in the clinic with me and benefit from all the people that we've seen and hopefully the people we've helped. So if you like this, drop a like, comment, however you want to, subscribe, and we hope this helped you out. Talk to you later.